orthopedic specialist brings you the starting 9. And it'll be Johnson and Kramer and Ellis at the top. Usually those first 4 or 5 batters are just incredibly dangerous for this Arkansas team. As you heard from Grace, that series win over the Gators, and we'll see Johnson at the top of it.
Definitely. Johnson is lethal, as we know, in that leadoff spot.
Last year made the SEC All-First team. Back-to-back years of the South All-Region team. Ball there from Ponick. First pitch at 5:06. Currently on a 6-game hit streak is Reagan Johnson. Not her longest of the year. Earlier this season had a 7-game streak. Strike there from Cameron Ponick. As Arkansas loves getting those players from that Houston area. Kramer's on deck, and then we'll see Ellis. Just a home run machine this first inning. 1-1 pitch. And out off. She's still in the box. 1-2. For Johnson this year, 16 multi-hit games. Definitely one of, I'd say, top 3, top 5 leadoff batters in the country. Very fun to watch. She is our impact player for this game, Sabrina. So they go lefty batters for the first 2. And this one will be choppered to our other impact player over at first base and safe as Reagan Johnson beats it out, the junior center fielder.
That was just like the perfect lob for her to have time. When it bounced off, it was going so slowly. With that speed, she's definitely going to make it to base.
Yeah, I mean, right away you can see why she just flies around in center field. And so she gets on. And we'll keep an eye on those 200 career hits. We move down the order. Here's the left fielder and Reagan Kramer, the senior, who's hitting .321. The first 6 batters in this lineup all hitting .320 or better. Off the plate, taking off. And again, you blink and you miss her. For Reagan Johnson, another stolen base. That's 16 on the year. She's only been caught stealing once.
She flies off that base here. Slides in, second base knows. No point in throwing that.
And she might be the fastest player I've seen play here at this complex. There's a little off speed and a strike to Kramer. 15 runs batted in this season. Also very good at walking, just a patient hitter. This one a slow roller over to second, and again, Arkansas will beat it out. And just that speed at the top of the order for the Razerbacks.
Definitely having all of that speed at the top just really ensures that you're able to get on base even with these short grounders.
So Reagan Johnson over at third, currently on a 7-game hit streak that ties her season long. And then with Kramer there, now she's been on base for 7 consecutive games. As Reichert Woods, the catcher and third baseman, will come out, talk to Ponick and the infield with no outs. And first and third. As Sabrina, we get ready. This will be one of the best athletes, I think, that walks on this campus this year. And Bree Ellis, the senior. Impressive from Houston. Just one of those players where you start scrolling and I felt like my fingers and my hands started to cramp as I went down reading her bio more and more. For Ellis, the home runs are plentiful. 20 this year, 68 over her career. And almost a little bit like Allison Benning. If teams are going to pitch to her, if she's not going to get her pitch or anything in the zone, she's going to be over at first base because of a walk.
Exactly. Sometimes you just can't take a chance with players like this, and you might as well try to walk them, but, you know, sometimes they're able to find that pitch they know they can hit, even if it's supposed to be a walk.
For Arkansas this year, they've already played 2 ASUN teams, once against Lipscomb at the beginning of the year, then Central Arkansas. In both of those games, Bree Ellis has a home run.
I bet she'll be looking for one today.
Yeah, today nice little milestone, too. This is her 210th career collegiate game. Last year, she was a second-team All-American. Also making that first-team SEC. And then just like we see from Hadley Reichert over at third, Ellis is phenomenal at first base defensively.
Definitely, she has that height where you can kind of throw the ball anywhere near first base, and she probably has the reach to get it.
And coming back out, I believe, with the review over at first, and that is the case. Oh, that's been another storyline. These challenges and replays that we've seen here at the UNF softball complex in either the first or second inning.
I know, they're really getting through those reviews early, making sure that the play call is what is actually happened.
So Ellis is going to dig in with that right Nike cleat and stand tall. Currently hitting .500. Facing Ponick. Ellis with 44 hits. 20 have left the yard. Second pitch. A little more spin to it from Ponick. That's mainly what we saw from her yesterday against the Hatters. For this North Florida team, currently 12-0 in conference play. 1-1 pitch for Ellis. Takes a strike, taking off. And an easy bag for Kramer.
Yeah, you could totally tell she was definitely looking to steal there. Her legs were just cocked and ready.
1-2 pitch off the plate for a second ball. Try and get her to chase, but for a player like this, just incredibly patient. Rarely going to bite on much of anything.
Picking the right pitches will definitely put your batting average at 500.
Yesterday down in Gainesville, 3 walks and 2 runs scored for Ellis. Full count here. Pitch from Ponick. And a ball there, and Ellis is going to take her base. So leads the team in walks now. That's number 35.
Third base, number 6, Ella McDowell.
And here comes the third baseman and McDowell. The first 3 Razerbacks are on. First 2 is singles, Ellis with the walk. McDowell, the freshman third baseman. Had a crazy number. I've been doing this now well over a decade, but as a high school senior, she hit .704. I don't think I've seen a number that high.
Yeah, that's kind of an insane number, especially for high school.
And McDowell, she has a nice little on-base streak as well. 7 straight games where she's at least reached first base. Strong series down in Gainesville for 2-0 start. Ponick. There's strike from number 88. McDowell 6 home runs, currently hitting .389. 3 for 4 yesterday against the Gators. Eyes is high and outside, 3-1. Dow will step back in. The big RBI opportunity with the bases loaded. This one's popped up. It's going to be lost in between all 3 Ospreys over there. Caravaca, Brock, and then over in right field, it's going to be Marley Nagy. And we'll see Coach Hernandez come on out to the circle to talk to North Florida. And Sabrina, for the Ospreys, it could have been a huge out right there, especially with McDowell, the way she's swinging it. I mean, she's coming off a 10-hit series. Rarely do you see numbers like that in a weekend.
Definitely, I think it would have been in the Ospreys' best interest to kind of dive for that, but I think there was kind of a communication issue where they all froze up and nobody reached out for that ball.
And McDowell will have a full count. Ellis had a full count before her. It was a leadoff single, Johnson, then Kramer right after her. Both some hard-hit balls. Johnson had that high chopper. Infield singles, both have stolen bases. We did have the review on Kramer of whether or not she was safe at first. That was upheld. Ellis worked a long count for a walk. Hence the bases loaded. McDowell facing Paunick as this one will beat a short. Vogel coming on home. Woods will get it. And of course, the runner there, Reagan Johnson with the speed, is going to beat it out. And so Arkansas striking first here on this Monday evening.
Right fielder, number 46, Kaylee Wyckoff.
She hits that right into the ground for a quick ground ball, and then you kind of see her try to throw it to home, but I think that Johnson was well there even before she threw it.
There's Wyckoff, the junior. I see ball one. And she gets to start in this game over in right field. You can see her kind of play a little bit of everywhere from time to time. Over the weekend at catcher, it's a hard hit foul ball. I was checking this morning on some of her numbers. I had to do the math 2 or 3 times. I'm quite certain she's been on base in all but 2 games this year.
That is amazing.
That one gets fouled off for a count of 1-2. Currently hitting .330. 29 RBI for Wyckoff. .37 hits, 37 runs. Seems like everybody on this team on base percentage is .350 or better. This one a flare. It'll be to second behind the bag for Lauren Brock.
Shortstop, number 26, Natalia Rijo.
So the Ospreys able to get that first out, Sabrina. A key out right there when you're going up against a top 15 team.
Ospreys definitely need to take advantage of anything that pops up in there, and they can get that quick out.
Here's Rijo, the shortstop, the junior. Softball, baseball, it's in her blood. Mother played at UNC Wilmington. Just foul to the right of the first base bag. Rijo this year having her best hitting season. She was really good as a freshman back in 23. Yesterday was her 100th game as a Razorback. The count 1-1. Bases full. Rijo will swing, fouled off, and you can just, even on the foul balls, hear that power coming off the bat. And clearly, even if you just close your eyes, you could tell it'd be an SEC team.
Definitely, you just see how she whips that bat around. She's really using her hips and her legs to kind of get that bat around and get the ball, drive the ball as far as she can.
She'll swing at this one as it rolls to second. Ospreys looking for the double play ball. Scoring is going to be Kramer. Coming in will be Ellis after the Ospreys tried to turn 2. They do get the force out at second, though. And Rijo is going to be safe.
I think that was the right play there to try to get the double out just so you can kind of minimize the damage here. And you see the quick roll over to second, but then
Razerbacks will make it a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. We move down to Davison. Another start for her today at second base.
that humidity out there. It poured right before this game starts, so I'm sure out there they're feeling the humidity. Gets a little slippery.
Oh, it's just gotten sticky since probably 2 or 3 o'clock. So after that one, it'll be a 2-0 count. Davison stays off. Again, for the Ospreys, nothing changes defensively except for right field. McCarthy's in center, Shaw, Rocky in left, Reichert at third, Vogel at short, Brock at second, Caravaca the first baseman. A 3-0 pitch right down the pipe. Junior Davison, also just baseball, softball in her blood. She's got 3 family members who played in Major League Baseball. Seeing the ball well lately, has a hit in 4 of her last 5 games. We'll see a payoff pitch coming up soon. Third Razorback with the full count. Davison. This one's sliced up. It'll be Brock over there roaming around. Tough ball, especially with some of that wind pushing out towards the beaches area. But Brock secures it. 7 batters there in the first inning for Arkansas. Razorbacks with a 3-0 lead. Again, started one of the games in 3 innings. Lauren Brock. And quickly there for Arkansas as McDowell, the third baseman, moves in. As Brock is that essential out you want to get because she's had a 5-game hit streak. And here comes North Florida's Allison Benning. Been very exciting to watch her season this year. For the senior hitting .393. And swings. This one is going to be to left field. And a 1 pitch out to the warning track. And the fly out to Reagan Kramer. Well, it sounded pretty good off the bat. Here's the starting lineup for the Ospreys, 1 through 9, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, Brock, Benning, Caravaca. Nagy, who we saw yesterday come in the later innings, got an at-bat and played right field. She'll be hitting 8th in this order. Caravaca, the first baseman, will take ball 1. North Florida being very aggressive in these at-bats here to begin. Caravaca, much like Lauren Brock, a 5-game hit streak. 3 hits and 4 ribbies in the Stetson series. Caravaca, I feel like that's got to be probably the 30th or 40th foul ball she's ripped over there towards the bullpen.
Yes, she's one of those players that even though it's a foul ball, you know how much power is coming behind her bat just because you see all the which ways it goes.
Caravaca, swing and a miss. That one pretty much in the dirt there by Burnham. Good pitch selection for 2-2. Caravaca in game 1 on Saturday hit a 3-run homer. Reaches for this one. Again, it'll be over at third. This time playing back a little bit. And a good ground ball. McDowell gets the third out. A 1-2-3 inning. Ponick in the circle. Coming in, Sabrina, I was thinking if you can get 2, maybe 2 and some change innings worth of work from Cam Ponick, I think that's what you'd like.
I think that'd be great too. She's kind of a newer pitcher. She hasn't gotten so much play, but I think she's doing great here in the circle against a really good team.
A deep pitching staff for the Ospreys. Her highest amount of innings was 6, and that was a game down at UCF in Oviedo. Through 131 pitches. 1-2 pitch, Ratcliffe off the plate. Seemed to consider it. Ratcliffe, even count. Just a bit inside, another full count. This is a 4th batter, and it's been back-to-back here for Arkansas after Davison worked that 3-2. Ratcliffe popped up, and it'll be behind us. only for the Razorbacks coming off that victory down in Gainesville, taking 2 of 3, but they were able to take 2 of 3 at Tennessee, that at the time was number 7 in the nation. And to me, almost just as impressive as taking down the Gators this past weekend.
I would agree. Taking out these big, high-ranked teams at home, I think, is a great sign for their season.
As this one will go to the grass, and again, Warren Brock is there with the shades off. And North Florida's been able to get a couple of pop-ups here, both on 3-2 counts. Facing the bottom of the order. And you see it defensively for North Florida. Only change will be right field from what we saw over the weekend consistently against the Hatters. Kennedy Miller, one pitch, and this one over to right field, and it'll go to the wall. She'll have herself a stand-up double there, and that one wasting no time did Kennedy. Just grip it and rip it.
She definitely waited for a pitch, saw it, just whipped that bat around, tried to get that out of the park, but fell just a little bit short.
If anything, that wins, probably going to hold it just a little bit as she gets another double this year, her third. So with Miller on at second, one down, back to the top. Here's center fielder Reagan Johnson. Started the party in the first as this one goes off of Ponick's chest, and that bunt tough as almost a line drive right into her numbers.
Definitely that would have been an amazing play, but definitely a very difficult play to react to right after you've just thrown a pitch.
And you can see just a glance off the forearm and into her body. First and second, moving down the order, and this one well struck again. This one will go to the wall. Kramer's going to have herself a double, and an RBI to bring in Miller, and Johnson with that track speed. Incredibly quick slides on in, dirties up the uniform.
These long hits are just what the Razorbacks need to get these girls home because of that speed they have.
Right out to the wall for Marley Nagy. And so the Ospreys able to get the first out against Ratcliffe, but Miller with the double. Johnson gets on, and then Kramer. And the Razorbacks, very aggressive. Second time seeing Cameron Ponick. This is Bree Ellis. Ellis, a teammate on at second base. Now a 5-0 lead. Ellis will take a strike. Ellis, 1-1 pitch. Walked the first time. Got herself a full count.
Ponick's just kind of throwing those a little too low, right below the knees, right, just outside the zone.
4 hits from the Razorbacks. Just right now, I would think of avoiding that strike zone altogether against Ellis. Woods will come talk to her. With it being now 3-1.
Ellis definitely knows where her zone is, and she knows how to work her count, so she's just going to keep waiting until that pitch she sees that she likes, and she'll hit that.
I feel like every count I see for her, it's going to be 3 balls that she's going to be able to get to. Has 15 multi-hit games this year. 3-1. And it'll be full count once again. "20 home runs for Bree Ellis this season. A payoff pitch. Just got some of that there for foul ball. Shake off the leg too. Got some of that ankle guard. Ellis. Ponick. Pitch. Ellis, another hard foul ball. 2-run inning here for Arkansas. 3 runs in the first. On their 5th batter this inning. A 3-2 delivery. Almost similar spot on the pitch that walked Ellis the first time, and she'll take her base once again. Over the last 4 games, she has 8 walks.
When you're a batter as dangerous as that, I think a lot of pitchers would rather be a little bit outside than be in the zone where she knows she can knock that into play.
There's McDowell, aggressive again for the Razorbacks. As an RBI fielder's choice. McDowell. 35 runs batted in. His 2 teammates on. Batting cleanup. This 28-win team. McDowell. This one will be to the outfield, and it's over there for Nagy, tagging and heading to third. And Kramer's going to put the Razorbacks now in the corners.
Right fielder, number 46.
Here comes Wyckoff now, as you saw. Look at Kramer over there. A couple of base hits already for her. She leads the Razorbacks. She has 2 of their 4 hits. A pair of runs batted in, as well as stolen base. There's Wyckoff. Good bit inside from Cameron Ponick. Arkansas has not gone after any of those really on the inside.
No, they're seeing the ball really well.
Ponick. Second pitch in this at-bat. And taking off, and it'll be Ellis who takes second base. Just her 3rd stolen bag this year. Second and third for a 2-0 pitch. And it went inside the Razorbacks dugout.
I think so too. There they are. They're gonna throw
There it
back.
is. Yeah, I think that's our first this year.
Yes, I think so too.
Wyckoff steps back in, hitting .327 for the lefty batter. Teammates second and third. The ball went off speed there.
Yeah, just was kind of a little too low on that one.
He was hoping for the call. You could see it from the emotion there. .3-1 incoming. Wyckoff. This one will be over to left field for Shaw Rocky, and the fly out right there as the Ospreys trailing by 5. Just cut that fly out to left field. What a fantastic season she's been having. But we saw in that last inning, Peyton Burnham was spectacular as a freshman righty coming in with 8 wins. Sabrina, but it only took her 8 pitches to get 3 Ospreys out.
Yeah, she's doing amazing, even though she's just a freshman.
Here's Shaw Rocky over to third base. It's been the story thus far defensively. It's been Ella McDowell seeing her 3rd ground ball. It's been the left side of the field in general. And here comes Kelsey Vogel for North Florida. Ospreys shortstop. Game 1 against Stetson had a pair of singles. Also was hit by a pitch. Just underneath the glove of the pitcher, Rijo is there for a good play by the shortstop. Another ground ball.
Third base, number 33, Hadley Riker.
And here's a defensive alignment, as you see it there for the Razorbacks. 13th right now in the country. Tomorrow, a new poll will come out. Would not be shocked if they move up a good bit. Burnham pitching. Reichert will rip it foul. Hadley, the Ospreys' fourth-year player, starting third baseman. Last year made the conference second team. 3 hits in the Stetson series, and going back over my scorecard, Sabrina, really just every at-bat I felt like was productive for her, whether she grounded out or got a hit. Just every approach was almost like a Caravaca, where you thought, okay, she did a nice job all in all in the batter's box.
Yes, definitely. Every time we see Hadley walk up to that plate, she's always focused and doing what she can for her team on offense.
She has a hit in 6 of her last 7 games. There's a strike with some pop into the glove of Kennedy Miller. 2-2. That wind starts to pick up a little bit more. That flag whipping. Reichert high, works herself. A longer count. It'll be full. Easily longest count that an Osprey has had. Most pitches they've seen from Peyton Burnham. On a payoff pitch. Comes in for a strike. Reichert was stunned by that. Thought it missed. Talks to the home plate umpire, Carlos Guzman, and that'll be the first strikeout of the... Here's Rijo hitting .345. As the lefty batter had a nice play earlier over at her shortstop position. It's an RBI and a fielder's choice for her. This one over to first as Kirsten Caravaca is there for the first out, and Cameron Ponick loves that. Gave her a very definitive point, like a thank you.
Yes, when you get those outs that you can, especially with a lineup like this, pitching against them must be a lot of pressure and mentally straining.
As she is now retired 3 in a row. We saw that last inning, McDowell and Wyckoff both flying out. This is Davison. Was able to get herself to a full count, but then popped up over to Lauren Brock at second base. Davison. I love watching that spin come off the hand of Cameron Ponick. She's gone 2 1/3. It's her longest outing since 2 2/3 against the Gators. Get some of that clay in the hand, like what you mentioned earlier, just that humidity and that moisture.
Definitely, and she's definitely feeling the pressure, which me personally, my hands would start to sweat anytime I feel pressure.
3-0 pitch. Right there for a strike. Davison both times saying 3-ball counts. On 3-1, she'll swing as it goes full for a second time for her. Davison trying to keep up that little hot stretch of hitting, and she'll take right there for a ball. Instead of going after it, clearly learned what she did in the first time of don't swing at something you don't love, and she'll walk and take her base. So with 1 out, she becomes the first base runner here for the Razerbacks in the third. Now it's Ratcliffe. Facing Ponick for a second time. She worked herself a full count, and then, like Davison did, popped up to Brock. That one was a little bit closer to the second base bag. Ratcliffe, and she laces this one over into right field for a base knock. And Davison is going to hold up there, so first and second. Move down the order. Just a strong piece of hitting right there from your DP.
Definitely, she hit it in a great spot in the bat, just popped it over the infield, not far enough for the outfield to kind of get her out.
And here comes Miller, now for the catcher. 2 home runs, 14 ribbies this year. with two teammates on base. Last time we saw her, she had herself a nice double out to the right field wall. Later scored a run. Dips too low for Miller. We'll take a ball. But when that poll comes out tomorrow for the Razerbacks, it's going to be the 81st straight week of them being in the top 25. You can name all the other teams that have done that essentially on one hand.
Definitely an impressive feat.
Just crazy how they put that together. Fun team to watch. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Comes in for a strike there against Miller. As we even things up, Cameron Ponick with two runners on. Razorbacks scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Ratcliffe got their 5th hit. And this one will be popped up. It's over to the shortstop, and Kelsey Vogel into the grass there for a nice play for number 2.
Center fielder, number 23, Reagan Johnson.
So we've seen this has been kind of the MO for Cameron Ponick is just some light pop-ups. And she's been able to get 4 of them. Back to the top, it's Reagan Johnson.
I think a day like today, a light pop-up is ideal because if it goes too high, then you know that wind will catch it and then it'll be even more difficult to field.
For Johnson, we've seen already a hit today, a couple of runs scored, a stolen base, also reached on an error. That was just 1 inning ago. Has a 7-game hit streak on a 1-1 pitch. This one will be to center. It's going to drop for a base knock right there, second of the game. McCarthy throws it home, but Davison slides in before there's any play.
Great hit, just out of range for center field to get to. And then she tries to throw it home, but they have some speed on this team, so sometimes there's like no chance.
Yeah, Reagan Johnson is truly a one of a kind. Make it 6-0. Go from one Reagan to the next. Here's Kramer. This one will be a light pop-up, and there it is for Lauren Brock right there. So 3 base runners, a couple of base knocks by Ratcliffe and Johnson. A run comes across here in the third. It's 6. Maggie hitting .316. We saw her over the weekend. She had that walk-off hit in Game 2 against the Hatters. All 3 starts back in February. Last year, she was a go-to. She was that main pinch runner for North Florida. Maggie with 3 runs batted in. A 1-1 pitch, and time called. As Burnham, I don't think she enjoyed what she was getting. The freshman will reset. Here for third pitch. But whatever it was coming in fast. I don't know that much. Probably one of the harder pitches we've seen here at the complex.
Yeah, that was on the inside, so that would have had to have been a fast reaction.
Nagy, 2-1 pitch. And just checking on it. Really did not want to. We got enough on the bite. 2-2. Woods over at first base after the leadoff single. And it's been fairly quick innings for Peyton Burnham. First inning was 8 pitches. Second inning was 9. Both, she went 1-2-3. Fouls off. I think that caught more of Miller's catcher's mask. Just a little glance. We're again 2-2. Reminds me a little bit more of that Reichert at bat we saw from the Ospreys to end the second inning. Two, and there's a strikeout. Her second of the game for Peyton Burnham, and pitch selection was spectacular. Here it is again on the replay.
You just see it drop right out of her zone, and fortunately she missed.
Wild pitch right there. So second K for her. After a longer at bat from Marley Nagy, here's McCarthy, the Ospreys center fielder. She'll look down. There's her head coach, Jeff Conrad, in the foreground. And a ball 2-0 for McCarthy. Excuse me, 1-0. No, it is 2-0. Okay, I had to second guess myself. Am I looking at my sheet wrong? Do I need my glasses again?
I know you got to check all your references for
Yeah,
the count.
I've avoided using the glasses for so long. I have them, but no.
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 No, I'm still young, Sabrina.
You're very hip.
I'm holding on to it. 2-1 pitch. There's a strike from the slap hitter and Kaylin McCarthy. Currently hitting .260 over her last 7 games. Has walked 5 times. Now the 2-2. That'll be foul. Watch out, Terry. We'll go again. So the Ospreys really, you take a look at their last 4 batters, have been longer at bats. Woods had the single. She's been the lone base runner, still over at first. McCarthy will swing and miss, and immediately Burnham points at her catcher Miller for the good setup there, and his back-to-back Ks, now 3 for the day for number 12. Good velo. And the strikeout. Retired the last 2 after Woods with the wild infield single with a lot of spin. Back to the top. This is Brock. Just hitting below 300. Been exciting to watch in her first year as an Osprey. There's Mackenzie Woods. I know her mom was, I believe her mom was here for yesterday's game. But Mackenzie always has some family or friends rooting her on for these home games. This one will be into center. It drops there in the grass. A tough ball. Thought for a second Davison was going to maybe get that right on the fringe there. And so Brock, a good piece of hitting.
Yeah, she just kind of lobs it over in that long infield hit, and no one can just reach out and grab it. They kind of didn't have the right positioning for a hit there.
A tough spot once again. Davison got super close, went off the glove there. Here comes Allison Benning. For North Florida, it'll be runners first and second. Benning, a 14 home run season. Already we'll see one more pitch than she did the first time. Flew out one pitch, sent it to left field.
I think she's going to be a little bit more picky on what she hits at now.
This one will be popped up. Good bit behind us. Burnham from Eugene, Oregon. And that was the first school that Benning played out there for the Oregon Ducks before becoming an Osprey. 1-1 pitch. This is a zone for a second ball. Benning, just a season to remember. Hitting .389, 14 homers, slugging .860. Away. 3-1 count for Benning.
Good eye there for Benning. I thought it kind of looked like it was going to curve in the zone, but dropped out.
Burnham here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Binning. Popped up behind us. Goes to a full count. That's 6 straight batters where the Ospreys have looked a little bit better after starting off those first 5.
Yes,
They were kind of tough.
Yes, I think it took them a moment to kind of see.
And
her
high
pitches.
heat. 1-1 the count. As the Ospreys, some changes as well. Bruneman's going to be catching. Artema's in center. Beavis in right. Ellis. I want a nuke foul over towards the cages.
That was well over the Ospreys bullpen.
Just looks so smooth out there. Ellis, a 1-2 pitch is off the plate. So the Ospreys make 3 defensive changes coming into this inning. A 2-2 for Ellis. The Razerbacks, they scored in all 3 innings thus far. 3 in the first, 2 were earned. 2 runs in the second, and 1 run in the third. Ellis will take, and again, I feel like I could have almost told you. It would have been 3 balls and 2 strikes.
She knows how to get to full count.
"36 walks. Leads the team. 3-2. This one down over that third baseline for Ellis. Will hold on up, dive back into first. And looked like it just glanced off the glove of Hadley Reichert. Here's another look at the swing.
We see it here. She just missed it. Unfortunately, it turned into a single for her, but at least they were able to hold her for a single. That could have easily been a double.
Yeah. Well, it's easy from this spot to say, man, you just missed it. But when you've got number 77 swinging that bat,
Oh, yeah.
man, it can look scary. McDowell fouls the first off.
I think you kind of react and hope your glove made it, but sometimes it doesn't always happen.
And it looks like or this may be a case of saying a pinch runner. And that will be the case. So it's going to be Casey Wood. So Wood will be over at first base now, taking the spot of Bree Ellis. McDowell facing Connor. Connor quickly an 0-2 start.
I don't think we've seen anyone from Arkansas in this position yet.
Down 0-2, I believe you're correct. Connor, her 7th outing this year. Last time we saw her was against the Gators back on March 20th. Rise ball 2-2. Dow reached on the fielder's choice back in the first inning. Then flew out over to right field just 2 innings ago. This one well struck, could be over the glove of Vogel into the gap. And she's going to have herself 2 bags, and holding up over third base will be Casey Wood. And another extra base hit for the Razerbacks.
The wall is getting a lot of love today. I think this is around the 4th ball we've seen it make it to the track, with just no one nearby to grab it.
Right fielder, number 46, Haley
A strong
Whitelaw.
piece of hitting right there from McDowell. And 3 doubles out of their 8 hits. This is Kaylee Wyckoff, the right fielder. Wyckoff in this game, 0 for 2. Couple of flyouts. One popped up right behind second base. RBI opportunity with second and third loaded. On a good swing. Currently hitting .325. And that third game down at Florida had that bases clearing RBI double back in March. An 11-game hit streak. 20 career home runs. So last year she was on the Big 12 first team.
Everyone in this lineup just has a crazy resume.
They do. They do. It's like anything else when we get ready for those games against the Gators or Seminoles. Where, you know, they're a top freshman coming out of high school. 3-1. This one will be out for Artema there in right center. Coming in and moving a runner over. So Wood will play to run to make it 7-0.
Shortstop, number 26, Natalia Rijo.
There's Rijo now up to bat. Back-to-back base knocks from the Razerbacks. Wyckoff will get the sac fly. Notch another RBI, and this is the shortstop who's hitting .341. Rijo as well has the RBI. And back in the first inning. The Razorbacks, they've scored in all 4 innings now. 1-1 pitch from Connor, and that'll get the right arm of Rijo. For Arkansas, first and third now.
Second base, number 14,
It
Carly
looked like that
Davison.
ball barely phased her, even though she took it right on the arm there, right above her guard, too, and she didn't even really seem like she cared. She just casually walked over to first and was like, yeah.
Yeah, that was a poker face for sure. I'd still be on the floor.
You'd be crying, probably.
Oh yeah, yes.
Not to call you out, but...
Yeah, no, I mean, if a Pixar movie's on, I'm weeping. Davison with the big cut, 0-1. For the second baseman today, a walk and a run scored. Now, both times she's been able to work a full count, so very similar to what Ellis has done. Just very calm at the plate, not trying to do too much.
In their case, less is more. In their case, less is more.
Yeah, for sure. I think she learned a lot when she had that little flare to the second baseman, Brock. For sure would want that one pitch back that she had earlier against the starter, Cameron Ponick. Connor, this one way up in the sky, as this will be into left field, and they won't test the arm of Grace Shaw Rocky on the flyout.
The designated player, number 28, Carly Ratcliffe.
There's Ratcliffe. 2 good plate appearances in this game. Full count in the second inning. That led things off. And then a single in the third. It's cool seeing another game with Artema out in center field. She had the first career home run for herself yesterday. That run rule win against Stetson. Out off second time by Ratcliffe. Two runs batted in this year for her.
Mẹ đang bận à con? Con thử mở xem có được không? Con thử tự mở xem nào.
Facing Connor for the first time. It's one hard hit over to third. And the play over to first there by Hadley Reichert, tagging third just in case, and just got herself set. But some more 3 the last time we saw her. Did give up a couple of singles, but those have been the only 2 hits the Ospreys have been able to muster. Junior Caravaca trying to extend that hit streak. It's currently 5 games. Ospreys will see Shaw Rocky and then Vogel for the next couple batters in this inning. Caravaca. This will be Rijo, and a shortstop with a routine ground ball.
Left fielder, number 22, Grace.
A good start for King.
Rocky.
Can't ask for much more than that.
You see Caravaca kind of give Grace a little note right before she leaves the field.
Shaw Rocky a quick ground out over at third. That's when we saw Ella McDowell make 3 of the first 4 outs. For Lexi King, a little bit of a homecoming too. The freshman is from Windermere. It's not too far away. Maybe 3 and some change from here.
Not far at all. Definitely a nice area in Orlando, I believe.
Yeah, you drive faster than I do, so might be 2.5.
I'm under the age of... I'm just kidding.
Don't you say it. For King, was a top 25 player coming out of high school by extra innings. Last time she pitched was against Oklahoma back on March 16th. Could see her go for a couple of innings here today. Shaw Rocky will foul that off for 1 and 2. Comparably, her first outing, she faced Lipscomb in Nashville. 1 inning, gave up 1 hit. Shaw Rocky fouls off another. Kind of close to Harmon Stadium, where tomorrow we'll have some midweek baseball. It'll be UCF and North Florida.
You see some baseball players kind of hanging out up top there, hoping for a foul ball, I think.
Yeah, earlier I saw Jabin Bates and Drew Leinenbach. Catcher, DH, and for Drew, the everyday right fielder. Count stays at 1 and 2 for Shaw Rocky. Really good at bat. Tried to go back through her history over the last 16, 17 games, and I maybe found 1 at bat that I think she'd like back. But everything else I thought had been productive. 3-ball counts, of course, multi-hit games. Down in DeLand after that series was named ASUN Player of the Week.
She's consistently productive, and that's what we really need from her.
And, I mean, I'd say even right now, I haven't seen a ton of the other division, but I'd say the front runner for Conference Freshman of the Year.
It's definitely a possibility for her. She's doing so well.
Facing King. Two hits by the Ospreys, Brock and Woods, both in the third. Another 1-2 pitch. This one will be again to the shortstop, as another good play there as Rijo makes it back-to-back for 2 outs here in the fourth.
Number 2, Kelsey Vogel.
And up comes Kelsey Vogel, batting 5th in this order. Again, for Coach Conrad and his team, not too much to change after getting all of those sweeps 4 in a row in conference play. Don't have to change a ton. Lexi King picks up the velo for strike 1. Vogel hitting .336, 10 multi-hit games. This one over to first, and it goes off the glove there and safe. And you can see over at first base as Bree Ellis says that's on me.
She hit it kind of right at her, and she bobbled it out. Just a bad bounce there.
And so the Ospreys get Vogel on with 2 down. There's Hadley Reichert. I feel like a number of Ospreys with some new walk-up songs here for this one. Against King, she'll take a ball. Reichert got a full count, but then ended up striking out against Burnham. She thought it was off the plate, just caught some of it. A 2-0 start for Reichert. Senior third baseman. Has a hit in 6 of her last 7 games. Trying to continue that. This one moving in and goes off the glove there of McDowell. A grimace on her face. I think she may have had a chance at it. Moving in, and it looked maybe for a second just took her eye off the ball.
Here, she hit it right into the ground, popped it up, and I think she was thinking she should have maybe dove for it, or she just took her eye off the ball. It looks like there. That's what caused her to miss.
So North Florida is going to be first and second here. And Addison Bruneman will have her first plate appearance. She's been fun to watch. Takes over in the catcher's spot for Woods. And this one's going to be hard hit, but a line drive out there to center field for Reagan Johnson. So the Ospreys able to get a base runner or 2, but for afterwards, our dugout reporter, Kennedy Miller, as a catcher. Some good at-bats thus far. First plate appearance, came away with a hard hit double. One of 3 Arkansas has had today. North Florida's been held to 3 hits. This one backhanded and again goes off the glove, and that's been more the storyline these last couple of frames of the infielders. And I'm trying to figure out if maybe some of the wind's playing a role or what. But also, I mean, these ladies have played a lot of softball over the last 4 or 5 days.
Definitely. You kind of see her hit right at her. She's in position, but just took an unlucky bounce in her glove and popped out, and then she slipped again there. Probably due to the humidity and making everybody's hands sweaty.
Yeah, for sure. As we will see, looks like a pinch runner. And it's going to be Jaden Wells over at first base. Last inning, we saw Casey Wood. So Wells will be over there. We're back to the top with Reagan Johnson. She's been on base all 3 times in this game. 1 steal, 2 hits, 2 runs, and RBI. In the second, reached on the error. Batting .370 now. This one over the glove of Connor. Looking to turn it, and they'll just get the force out there at second.
She barely had to move for that one.
Yeah, truthfully. And so Johnson will get on with the fielder's choice. Now Kramer. Look for Johnson to potentially take off. Kramer with a pair of hits. Her 2 RBI leads the team so far today. Connor gets a called strike.
Saw Johnson there very ready to go. She's got her kind of trackish start.
She's going to take off right away, dives on in, and beat it by maybe about a full arm's length.
The speed she has is insane. She really has her timing down with these pitches. And she's already slid and probably touching home plate right when the ball is in frame there.
She gets to second another stolen base for her. That's now 17 on the year. For Kramer, 2-1 pitch. Lays down the bunt. Oh, nearly had it down there. Kramer will come back for 2 hits, a single and a double. First one came in the first inning, double in the second. Kramer, even count, facing Connor. Now it's full. Razerbacks, crazy. They've won 17 of their last 19 road series and SEC play. And a walk as it comes too far inside. Kramer will take a base. And 2 on, and here's Bree Ellis. Ellis, 2 walks, a single, and a stolen base. Just right around the knees of Ellis for strike 1. Four of their 8 hits have come from the first 3 batters. Ellis, this one just over the shoulder of Reichert into left field, coming in to score, and she is super speedy as Johnson to make it 8-0.
Of course, with a hit like this, it makes it past that third baseman there. Johnson knows she's ready to go home.
Again, very similar. We saw her last hit went over to the hot corner, and Riker just missed it, diving out, almost getting her glove. Here's McDowell. Another multi-hit game for Bree Ellis, as that'll be her 16th of the year. For McDowell, the freshman. This one's going to be out there for Artema, and it goes off of her arm. And coming on in and plating another run, there's going to be Reagan Kramer. That was a hard hit ball, but you can see by just some of the players' hair that wind is really starting to pick up as we have potential weather in the forecast coming soon.
Yes, fielding these balls, it must be much harder to track out there the further it gets up into the air, and you can only predict so much where you think it's going to go. I think she was pretty close, but just was off by a bit.
We continue on down the order. Here's Wyckoff. For the Razorbacks, first and second are the runners. Wyckoff takes a strike from Ashley Connor. Well, for both teams, their defense has hurt them at times in this game. Wyckoff with an RBI. Trying to get her first hit. Earlier that sac fly just 1 inning ago. As it brought in the pinch runner Casey Wood. 1-1, reaching for this, and it's going to drop over in the grass in left field for a base knock. And first, second, and third now for the Razorbacks. And time called.
Great piece of hitting there. She found another great spot where there's not great coverage. It's able to get on base.
And we will see a pinch hitter come in, take the spot of Orijo in the lineup. And this is going to be number 25, the freshman, and Cam Harrison. So their first pinch hitter today. We've seen 2 pinch runners. It's Harrison, the freshman, 5'10".
Attention, pinch hitting for the Razorbacks, number 25, Cam Harrison.
That 2024 class was ranked as a number 8 overall player. Take ball 1. 3 runs batted in this season for Cam Harrison. Every bat has reached thus far. 6 of them. Harrison's the 7th. I find impressive too. With her name Gatorade High School Player of the Year, she did just that for the state of Texas.
Very cool.
We'll take for strike 1 and 2. Harrison. Huge RBI set up here with the bases loaded. 2 hits this inning for the Razerbacks. 11 for the game. 1-2 rise ball evens things up. Been a while since I've been out to Arkansas. We traveled there with the men's team probably, say, 8 or 9 years ago now. Really nice facilities. Fights that one off, stays at 2 and 2.
I don't think I've made it out to Arkansas. Is that where the Ozarks are?
I believe I have not been to the Ozarks. If you're referencing the popular TV show, I think a lot of people vacation there, I believe. 2-2 pitch. This one will go foul. As I've been out there twice. I've got a friend from college who lives out there. He and his family enjoys it.
Nice.
Been to Little Rock and then that one time in Fayetteville. Another 2-2 pitch. It's Connor, fouls it off. That's been a while. The men's basketball team, I believe back then, it was Coach Anderson who was at the helm. Right around 2015 or so, 2016.
Probably been a lot of changes in the cities you mentioned since then. I know Jacksonville's gone through a lot of changes since then.
2-2 pitch. It'll be a full count. Harrison with a good eye. Harrison, payoff pitch, will take and walk. And with Ellis plating a run, scores now 10. As another pinch hitter, and this will be Jaden Ramos. As Ramos here up to bat, their second pitch hitter, and they go back to back.
Attention, pinch hitting
Taking
for
that spot
Razorbacks,
at
number
Davison.
34, Jaden Ramos.
One home run this season. Ramos, batting average at .333. 2 starts in SEC play this year. She started against the Gators yesterday. Her home run this year came against Illinois. Another freshman in this lineup. Pinch hit opportunity. As this one hard hit, it's going to find the grass and roll to the wall once again. It'll bring in at least 2 Razorbacks, and she'll have herself a 2-run double. And the freshman with a good piece of hitting. And nearly clears the bases.
Yeah, she really turns her hips, getting that power behind the bat there. And as you see, makes it all the way out to that track.
Strong piece of hitting. And we will see, this will be number 16, so Ramsey Walker comes in now for the Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks, number 16, Ramsey Walker.
Ramos. That's going to be her first double this season. 6th hit overall. Harrison earlier got the walk. That was just her 2nd this season. Walker, we've seen this year score 4 runs. Still trying to get that first hit of 2025. Walker, the 0-2 pitch. This one popped up. Caravaca, no play on it. Goes off the roof. The Razerbacks with 2 on. Their biggest inning thus far, a 5-run 5th. 12 runs to go along with 12 hits. Walker, again the 0-2, rise ball. Crazy stat here for the Razerbacks, though. Excellent notes from their SID. Got a win streak of how many games when they score 8 or more runs? 87.
Wow. That's an insane statistic.
This one will stay in the infield. Underneath it, there is Kelsey Vogel.
The catcher, number 17.
Now that was definitely one where I had to go. That's correct, isn't it?
You
But
kinda-
even if you flip the numbers and say 78, that's phenomenal.
It is. Either way, you kind of have to blink your eyes, make sure they're seeing right.
Yeah, they're trying to make it 88 with potentially one today. So back through the order, we led things off with Miller. And we return to her. Catcher. Reached on an error. This one will be over to right field, and this one again to the wall. That's been the story for the Razorbacks. Some hard hit balls, and they keep on adding more and more coming on home. Miller, a well-struck, good swing. She had the double earlier, and it was almost a little reminiscent, just a little farther to the right.
Yeah, she hit around the same spot, but that wall's been getting a lot of love today.
Attention, pinch hitting for the Razorbacks, number 21.
Another
Ava
pinch hitter.
Carter.
As that'll be Johnson who gets a place taken away. And this will be Ava Carter. Carter, again, another one of those youngsters that's going to be, I feel like, good for a long, long time. She had been an everyday starter. I'd expect her to see her plenty during SEC play. It started 5 of the last 6 games. She's 3-time All-State from Arkansas. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. A 7-run 5th inning for the Razorbacks. It's their 10th batter. Fouls that one off again. Keep on fighting to continue. Against Ashley Connor, her 7th appearance this year. Fights another one off, as all the Razorbacks have had really good at-bats today. 5 with 2 hits, as it's been Johnson, Kramer, Ellis, McDowell, and Miller got the start at catcher. 2 RBI games for 4 of them. Another ball there for Carter. Just that presence at the plate. You would not peg her as a freshman at all. 2-2 count. Swings on this one. popped up. It'll be over to third base for Hadley Reichert. You can see how tricky that wind is, but for Arkansas, they go through 10 batters, 5 hits, and 2 rock, and Hadley Reichert. This will be Lauren Beavis for North Florida, another Jacksonville native. The senior, the lefty bat. North Florida goes 8-9-1. 1-0 pitch still with King out there. It's her 9th appearance of the year. Coming into this ball game, 3-1 record, ERA at 3.50. Beavis fouls that one off. Went to high school not too far from here at Creekside. Count 2-1 from King. This one over to third. McDowell. And the scoop and throw for the first out.
Center fielder, number 23, Amanda Ardema.
Yeah, we'll see Amanda Ardema. Last time we saw her, she smacked a home run yesterday against the Hatters and was our player of the game. As both teams will look for a busy week ahead. Razerbacks will continue SEC play. And it's going to be a battle every weekend for the Ospreys. They'll hit the road for this upcoming weekend. They'll be at West Georgia up in Carrollton. Ardema, 5 RBIs this year. On 1 pitch, fall behind 1-2. Choose that gum to think a little bit more. Ardema into the net. As it looks to be Brock will be that third bat that we see. Yes, hi folks. How are y'all? Great to see you. Were they waving at us? 1-2 pitch. Ardema, this will stay in the infield as McDowell has just been covering a lot of ground over there at third base. And again, you look at this lineup for the Razorbacks, and she's one of those very young players. The freshman from Richmond, Texas. And now King here will face Alyssa Jones. Facing King. Jones, a little bit more of that upright stance for the freshman from Virginia. King in the circle. Count 1-1. As Lexi King wants to go back, realizes the pitch that she needs to go with. And throws a strike. Walker's over in right field for the Razorbacks. Jones will take, and a good eye there. A lot of batters would have swung at that. Jones waggling that bat. 2-2 pitch. Takes again, almost same spot. Jones this year, we've seen her as a pinch runner, 7 runs scored. And a swing and a miss, and that'll do it as King gets a strikeout there. And for the Razorbacks, another tally in the win.